welcome back to my K-pop Tarot channel. Today I'm going to be doing continuing doing 2024 prediction readings, this time around for one of my subscribers recommended group, which is 17 K-pop boy group. I know that there are a lot of members, so this reading could be a bit longer, so feel free to skip some parts or take your chips or your popcorn and let's enjoy this reading. While watching this reading, please remember that this is all for entertainment purposes only. I don't claim to know the future, the events, or anything like that. I'm just doing this as a fun thing. And also don't take my words as a literal fact, because I'm just a tarot beginner reader and my interpretations might be completely incorrect. Anyhow, without further ado, subscribe, like, and let's start. Okay guys, so this part is only going to be the card shuffling part. So if you are not interested in that, feel free to skip. I will leave the timestamps in the description box below. But if you are, let's start and welcome to my channel. Okay, so what kind of month was January of 2024 for K-pop boy group 17? I know that 2024 has already begun, it's already February when I'm doing this reading, but I can see what kind of month January was. Okay, this one. What about February? How is 2024 month of February going to be for K-pop boy group 17? One card only if it is possible, my cards. February for 17. What kind of events will be there, or in general what kind of thing we can expect, what can we see? I know that 17 has 13 members if I'm not mistaken, so okay. This one. What about March? March, April, okay, maybe not. But, okay, going to take this one since it was the only card that popped up as its own. What about May of 2024 for K-pop boy group 17? Going to take this one. June, June. What about July? July, August, September, thank you, October, of 2024 for boy group 17. I don't know why, but I get this like 17 right here. I don't know why I get this message in my head. Okay, going to take this one. What about November of 2024? Okay, this one. Which side do you want me to take it from? This way. Okay. And finally, December. Okay, thank you. I'm going to take the top card from the top, as I always do. Thank you so much, my card, for your efforts. Now I'm going to do literally the same thing as I did with tarot, but this time around I'm going to use my Radiant Sun Oracle deck. So please describe how was the month of January of 2024 for K-pop boy group 17. What happened in January? Okay, this one. What about February of 2024 for 17? How is this month going to be? Going to take this one. What about March? April of 2024. How is this month going to be for 17? April. Yeah guys, if you have any other groups that you want to do prediction reading from me, you can always recommend it. June on my videos, but you have to be subscribed, but subscribing is free, so it's not like you are losing anything. What about June of 2024? June. July. August. August of 2024. September for 17. Going to take the top card that popped out. What about October? November for 17. Going to take this card since its sides were poking my hand. And finally December. Okay, and please finally describe 2024 as an overall year for K-pop boy group 17. One card only. Okay. And from the top as well, please describe 2024 as an overall year for K-pop boy group 17. How is this year going to be? Okay, going to take the top card from the tarot, as I always do. Thank you so much, my cards, for all the help that I can get. Now let's make the cards look a bit more presentable, and then we can start. Okay. So in this sort of circle or oval, I have 12 cards that describe each month of 2024, and in the middle I also got one card to describe 2024 as an overall year for K-pop boy group 17. I know that January has already ended, but we can still see what kind of month it was, maybe what kind of things 17 boys faced, and so on. And yeah, without further ado, let's start off with January. For January, I got the card of Justice and the card of Devotion. So yeah, I'm not that familiar with the actual lives of 17. I'm only a casual listener of their music, but I'm not that familiar with the members itself and so on. And I got the card of Justice and the card of Devotion, which indicates some sort of legal actions or thinking about taking some legal actions against someone who is very devoted to, you know, um, 17 itself. So maybe if I have to guess, maybe there could have been some sort of accident with Saesang fans, you know, where they tried to, you know, for example, stalk the boys, try, you know, to get them to do something, or just in general invaded the privacy and the boundaries of the boys itself. And there were some negotiations whether there should have been some legal actions against that or not. I also could guess that in January the boys were very devoted to their work, so that could indicate that behind the scenes they are preparing like a new comeback, a new song to be released, or just in general working on some sort of project. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, new music, but maybe on some sort of variety show, or filming something for an advertisement, or just in general like really working super hard, like by practicing, by learning new things, new dances and so on in January. And I could see them spending way more time, you know, in practice studios, in studios itself, recording, maybe even making music, if I have to guess. So this month was a bit anxietful, you know, where anxiety could have been in way of one member or the whole group be a little bit down. But I think that January is still a month where 17, at least from fans' perspective, was really shining, and they were still a really bright and really successful group in January. Next we move on to February. For February I got the card of Six of Cups and the card of Rebellion. So if you guys are familiar with tarot, Six of Cups is almost usually the card that associates past. So maybe in January the fans will stream some older music of 17, or just in general really miss the moments of where 17 wasn't as well known group as they are today, you know, where they were a bit struggling, you know, or there are some members who miss the times where things were a bit simpler, and you wouldn't have to, you know, follow the strict rules of that K-pop successful bands are put under, you know, to continue rising in their fandoms and so on. But I reckon that there are some members who really dislike K-pop traditions, you know, that you can't date, that you can't smoke, that you can't have tattoos, and, you know, so many restrictions, and they are fed up with it, and they feel like because they are, you know, not a younger group, they can be somehow of a rebel, and because they have achieved so much and they are self-produced group, you know, they can sometimes not follow those rules. So in February there could be some you know, some sort of rebellious thing that one of the members of 17 or the whole group does that could shock the K-pop fans, you know. So for example, that could be, you know, showing more skin, having some sort of viral moment on Twitter, on social media platforms and so on. Maybe one member gets a tattoo, changes their hairstyle, or does like gets caught smoking, gets into dating rumor of some sort, you know, some sort of rebellious thing that is quote unquote not accepted in K-pop. But I reckon that this month is they're going to receive a lot of love from their fans, because they are very unique and they are very, you know, prosperous and quite of a senior group that has been with the fans for a long time. There could also be some, video call thing, the schedule where some fans, older fans, who have been there with 17 from the actual like beginning stages, really, you know, saying those things to 17 members and just appreciating them on the level of, them being a really steady group. Next we move on to March. For March I got the card of Eight of Cups and the card of Negotiations. Is there a member who could leave or is supposed to, or the time where they are supposed to go to military? Is there a member? I'm not familiar with them because I could see some negotiations and discussions being started about that, military life, about that, setting that example of, following the rules of Korea, where it's mandatory to, go to the army and do your practice there, as I suppose. Mm. Or there could be some company that will offer something to the 17 boys, but the boys itself are not sure whether this is a good thing to accept, because somehow, even if it brings a lot of money, there are two sides of the coin, the sun and the moon, which could somehow negatively impact the whole group itself, where, they could leave for something. There as well could be a member who decides to take a short amount of time away from the idol industry, like walking away from it, from all the achievements. As well as that, there could be talks, or not talks but actual thing of them releasing music in another language, or they could receive that offer, to do like a collaboration of some sort, or work with a international company, for example. And there could be some traveling work being made. Maybe they're going to go on some sort of concert, festival of some sort in March, where they're going to perform, maybe even hold some sort of tour overseas. As yeah, I could see that. Or maybe they could release music in different language. So for example, like a Japanese or English comeback of some sort. Or there could be some talks whether they should do that or not. Something like working with both Korea and international things at the same time, like juggling two things at the same time. Next, we move on to April. For April, I got the card of the Hanged Man and the card of a Fae. So, I reckon that in April there's going to be quite some silly moments that could really brighten the mood of their fandoms. In where they maybe they're going to go viral for doing something or funny, of some sort of funny moment, and the fans are going to really like it. And even like the boy that is doing the funny thing, like a very silly thing, doesn't mind being called clown, just to brighten the day of like one of the fans, for example. I could see somehow 17 really close with their fandom, really appreciating and the support that they get from their loyal fans who are always there for them. Maybe they're going to, I don't know, hold some fan meetings, fan call schedules, or be way more in contact with their fans, or maybe concert tour of some sort. I wouldn't even be surprised if there some sort of confirmation or a rumor about one of the members dating someone, because a fake card showed up, which indicates love, interest. But it could also, that love could also be not for a literal romantic relationship, but it could also be just a love between the members itself, the love between members and the fans, members and the staff. But somehow this month is very how I say it in English, really emotionally well balanced. Next we move on to May. For May, I got the card of Four of Cups and the card of Isolation. So yeah, if like in April there were like moments between them and the fandom itself, in May there are some break. Maybe the members are working way more behind the scenes rather than in actual public scene. There could be some isolation happening, so maybe one member is leaving for like a military, for like a for a injury of some sort, or just in general they feeling under the weather and they decide to take like a short amount of period from the idol industry. There could also be some opportunity presented to 17 members and they are unsure whether to take it or not, but I think that they should take the opportunity, because it could bring them lifelong success in the future, and it's going to be really profitable opportunity, and they shouldn't hesitate to do that, even if they are missing a member or something like that, or they are feeling like they did not practice enough, they did not work enough. But I could see them like working with like some sort of fashion related thing, or like advertisement of some sort, filming one, or just like a variety show could also indicate that. But I don't think that it's like music related opportunity, or maybe it is. I could be wrong. I could see them going to Europe for some reason. I don't know why I get this feeling. Maybe and I think that May is a really hard working month. Maybe they're going to practice a lot, perfect what they already know, and so on. But regardless of that, I think that May is going to be a very successful and profitable month as well. Next we move on to June. For June, I got the card of the Star and the card of the Principal. So I reckon that this month is where a potential comeback or new music could be happening. There is some possibilities that the boys are going to break some sort of achievement or record with something, and they're going to be really excited, and fans are going to call them almost like leaders of their generation, like a really successful and a really big K-pop group in 2024. Like being called the Kings, someone who is self-produced, and but their music is really good, and the fans are really going to appreciate all the hard work that the boys put into this comeback, into this new project, into this new thing. I could see some healing time happening also. So maybe one member is going to, I don't know, open up about their experience, for example, or going to, I don't, like behind the scenes, work with some sort of therapist, where they're going to try and perfect who they are, and get better mentally, almost like a healing time. But as well as that, because it's summertime, it's all where excitement is finally happening, because the weather is changing and so on. Next we move on to July. For July, I got the card of, oh no, Five of Pentacles and the card of loss. So 17 are losing something, maybe, and there could be some potential injury of some sort, or a mental struggling member that could leave the group for some time. Mm. Or that could also indicate a loss in terms of military, leaving for military, or leaving due to health issues. But I do not mean it, leave the group itself, definitely not. It could, be like a hiatus of some sort. But I reckon that this month is a bit sad for the fans. Also, there could be way more mm, hate than usual for 17, for example, and the fans are going to really try and defend the honor and the reputation of 17 boys. There could be some traveling made as well. Maybe they're going on a tour of some sort and they going to, feel very tired, almost like overworked, because, they're traveling from one place to another constantly. So they could get really tired, do not get enough sleep, and and so on. But also, the scenery change can also affect some members, because changing things can require time where you have to adapt, and it could somehow really affect the mental struggle and mental thing of members. Next we move on to August. For August, I got the card of Knight of Wands and the card of Achievement. Yeah, this is a really a really successful month when we are comparing it to other months, because I see a lot of schedules, a lot of moving, but also because achievement card popped out. They're going to break some records. They're going to be a really successful group because they achieve a lot of things, and they are very mm, they are very, how do I say it, very competitive group, because they know their worth and they know their value, and they do not want anything less for their fans. They are this sort of like perfectionist type of group where they will definitely do not put music they do not like. It has to be music up to their standards, and it has to be a music where both 17 and the fans will enjoy it. I think that 17 is not that type of group who follows the K-pop trends in terms of music. So they are a very unique type of group who will do what they like and not something that is popular at the moment. They are not the followers, they are the leaders. That's like, I get this message. And I think that they're going to be this sort of a group which other K-pop groups can take example from, and they 17 are going to be like this sort of role models for other groups as well. So there could be some TikTok challenges, for example, being filmed. I could see, for example, one member purchasing a land or being really like rich. So maybe they're going to have like a black card, for example, or they're going to break something, break some sort of record, achieve a lot of things, be at the top of things when they are comparing other groups with. So the August could be a month where the boys are going to really shine, for their charisma, for their passion to their craft and so on. And I could see some between like in summertime a comeback of some sort, like a new music and so on. Next we move on to September, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, September. I got the card of Five of Wands and the card of Friendship. There could be some sort of subunit really shining, and really, or the whole group having this sort of like family orientated dynamics between the members itself, that the fans are really liking, those precious moments. I could also see, them being like brothers, not colleagues in the group, because, they are fighting, there are some disagreements, there are some, but there also are very fun moments where, 17 knows that they are not the rookies anymore, and they can enjoy being a K-pop idol and have way less stress about, for example, music show events. They don't care about that, as long as the fans support them, as long as they like what they're doing. They are going to continue being this fun and exciting and quite rebellious and also self-made type of group. I could see them maybe attending some sort of or being announced as in the lineup of some sort of award shows, where you can maybe expect some interactions between 17 and other K-pop group members. So for example, there could be some TikToks being filmed, or some sort of collaborations, some sort of precious moments of friendship that you wouldn't expect it to actually, be made. Next we move on to October. For October, I got the card of Ace of Pentacles and the card of Choice. This month is definitely going to be a really profitable month. What do I mean by that? Maybe they're going to sell some things, or they're going to be way more like streams, YouTube views, and so on, like album sales as well. So this month is very successful and really profitable one. There could be some offers being made to 17, and they're going to have a hard time choosing whether they're going to want to work with like fashion related thing, or they do not. I could see them like counting pros and cons, so maybe they are preparing like something, and they are in this discussion mode, where they are discussing maybe what kind of concept they want to do, or what kind of visuals they want for their concerts, for their festivals, for their award shows, performances, for their appearances, for their styling, and so on. There could be a member who is going to change a hairstyle of some sort, or their looks, maybe surprise us with wearing something really fun and something really good looking, and being called like handsome and so on. There could be a member who gets a tattoo. I don't know why I get this message, but and I feel like they feel like they are on top of the world. I could see them maybe attending some sort of award show and receiving, like a grand prize or really important award, for example, or being nominated for one, and them feeling super lucky and super appreciative of what they have achieved throughout the years and so on. Next we move on to November. For November, I got the card of Criticism and the card of Five of Swords, but it is in reverse position. So there could be something that one member or the whole group does that could upset some part of their fandom. That could be like, for example, um, them wearing something not appropriate, them saying some sort of word, uh, and they could receive some criticism, or there could be a lot of eyes trying and finding any sort of imperfection that could be, the reason for hate and so on. As well as that, even if they're going to receive a lot of, bad things in November, potentially all for entertainment purposes, but or maybe they're going to the some part of fans or K-pop world itself is not going to like 17 because they work with some sort of brand, some sort of person, for example, some sort of um, entertainment or like advertisement program, and the fans are going to point fingers at 17 for doing that. But I reckon that there are some the loyal fans are going to protect and give reasons why it's not as bad as haters try to make it be the situation. Maybe it could also be like, I don't know why, but I get fashion. Maybe it's like fashion brand. I don't know. Or maybe it's something to do with the looks. Maybe they are going to wear something that is not quote unquote appropriate. I don't know. But this month is where they should be really careful how they dress up and what things they say, because it could upset some fans. But I reckon that in November, the loyal fans and fans of 17 are going to really try to push the idea of unity and uniting, trying to defend the hateful comments about 17 on social media. That's what the message that I get. And finally, we move on to December. For December, I got the card of Six of Swords and the card of Vision. I reckon that 17 is going to attend some sort of festival, end of year, like shows and so on. There could be some really fun performances that haven't been done before. There could also be some new music being dropped out. I could see them traveling a lot in December. Maybe it has to do with a tour of some sort, or them attending award shows and so on. But I reckon that this month is really profitable and really successful month to end of 2024. And finally, let's see what kind of year 2024 is going to be for K-pop boy group 17. I got the card of Temperance and the card of Concentration. So in 2024, a lot of concentration on the idol job, on new music, is going to be seen from 17. I could see them having a comeback that is going to be really successful one as well. But there are also, I reckon that the comeback itself or the new music is going to come out not in the literal first half of 2024. And I reckon that a lot of patience from the fans itself, from the boys as well, are going to be really required in 2024. I could see them facing some challenges of haters, trying and belittle the name of 17, belittle the achievements that 17 has broken. I could see a lot of comparison with other boy groups, and I don't know why, but I get Stray Kids. Maybe those groups are going to be, the main groups of 2024. I see them shining. I see them having a lot of patience. Maybe one member is healing mentally from some sort of trauma, of some sort of thing, and finally opening up, finally coming back to, its previous emotions, even if, it's hard to let go of some things, but, and you probably will not ever move on, but you can, try, just try and be a better person and be way less anxious about things that aren't in your control. I see 17 being really profitable. There could be some losses happening in 2024, so maybe one member, there are some talks about one member leaving for military or actual, some sort of health issue of one member could be really shown in 2024, and they could really struggle with that. I could see them traveling a lot, maybe having a lot of talks about 17's name, get a lot of attention, even if it's negative, positive, and so on. I reckon that there could also be instances where one member or the whole group really shines in photo shoot, maybe closely working with fashion related brands, things, and so on. Maybe even one member trying acting, maybe joining some sort of variety show of some sort, being really funny. But they also should be really careful about some words that they might say, because it might be interrupted in a negative way that wasn't on the original list of someone. But I reckon that 2024 is definitely going to be a successful and profitable year for 17, so don't even worry. Yeah guys, this reading has been longer one, so I apologize if you do not like longer readings, but I have fun, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and without further ado, goodbye.